Hello guys, my name is REDTIGER the Gamer, and yeah, but hold on for a minute guys. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure it is right. Trying to make sure we fully on live. But yeah, if we are, then yeah, that's the case. Okay, here we go. Let's go to StreamYard to put this right here. Come on, you stupid thing. Okay, here we go. I got it. I'm just trying to make sure because it's been a while since I used StreamYard. But yeah, I think we got it. Alright, okay. Invite. Here we go.
There we go.
Nice.
All right, get rid of the link.
Alright.
Link.
Oh yeah, delete the link. Yeah, I'm gonna do it really fast, so let's go to there. Come on, you son of a bitch. Okay, here we go. Delete link. Delete it.
Yeah, give me a sec for my avatar.
Alright, I'm just going to.
There we go. Yay. How do you? Oh, right. It's been too long now. There we go. Blue Yeti. Finally got it.
Here we go. We are here. Hello guys. My name is REDTIGER the Gamer, and welcome to the next DRAMA-POCALYPSE.
Yep, we're covering this guy called the Synthetic Man. And if you don't know about this individual, be blessed because he's kind of fucking stupid. He makes a lot of videos making these claims. Like today, he's making the claim of Resident Evil Requiem. They made it into The Last of Us. I'm like, what? It's creatively bankrupt. Yeah, sure, okay.
Clearly bankrupt. Like, what the hell is what with the clearly bankrupt? Even though Resident Evil Requiem itself only, well, yeah, Resident Evil Requiem has 7 billion copies worldwide, so they can't say it's clearly bankrupt. They can't say, oh, Resident Evil Requiem is dead. But on the same time, people are just getting mad because Resident Evil got more attention than the other woke games we already knew. So,
Oh yeah. Speaking of that one, we had a conversation where somebody was getting offended. What was it? A video game series and anime? They claimed it was sexist or whatever. We were talking about it last night. Remember?
yeah, yeah. Funny thing is really Himakoro is like they try to say, they just try to say, video, man's like them have a sexualized those characters and
Oh, it was about Pragmata. There we go. I remember. Yeah, it was
Pragmata,
about
yeah,
Pragmata. Yeah.
yeah, Pragmata, yeah, and yeah, from that too. Oh yeah, Pragmata, yeah, that game, yeah, the new Capcom game, yeah. I just guess though they on the crash out because I guess Mans was playing the game and like it just because that guy on the game was a father figure. Like who the fuck cares about like what they think? Because like him, just like I say, it's just a video game. Like why are you crashing over a game which is just already come out and it's just really pointless from X for some reason. It's really that
Yeah,
pointless.
they fucking bitching about nothing. But these are the same people that find anything to complain about, like anything. Oh, jiggly thighs and breasts. Oh, sexist. That's his. Oh, men can't enjoy these games because they're fucking perverted or some bullshit.
Yeah, which that is pretty much hypocritical because I've been watching YouTube and one of them streamers just gooning over Leon on Resident Evil Requiem because
And
like when
nobody says anything about it because it's a woman. But as soon as a guy plays a game with a little girl, oh my god, that what are you guys doing? That's wrong. It's pedophilia. Like, oh my god. Shut
yeah,
up.
big it's just because you play that Capcom game, have that guy who's a father figure. Like, I mean, I get it though. They hate father figures because games like The Last of Us does have it. Like, all of them, one of them games does it. Like, what's wrong with a game have a father figure on it? Like, all they like that mad. Like, I'm
Who
just
knows?
saying, yeah. But from that case, I will give you guys a heads up. So, I'm just trying to. Well, I tried to download this video and it didn't let me because it's a lot of megabytes. So I'm gonna go to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it the old fashioned way, screen share.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna find the guy for us. Let me see. Resident
Oops. Shit.
Evil Requiem is Gravity Inc. What? Okay, let me see. Here we go. It's that guy over here. That's and yeah. And, until that, I'm gonna try to make sure YouTube ad for some reason. I'm gonna get the out of here by this bullshit. I don't need no any eruptions, YouTube, for the love of God. And from the moment of it too, I might as well have to switch on my PC. So hold on, folks. Just hold on. I'm gonna be right back.
I'm just looking at messages really quick, see if there's anything new.
Stage. Okay, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Come on. Come on. Fucking thing. Okay, Tansin, 1, 2, 3. Can everybody can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just making sure I got it right. So in case of it, I gonna share screen this shit. So let's go to share screen. Go to share screen. Don't show this tips again because I already knew this screen. Resident Evil Requiem, of course. And okay, do you guys saw it? I'm just making sure.
There we go. Yep. Resident Evil Requiem is creatively bankrupt. What the fuck is with that picture?
Okay,
Like, that's the thing you're gonna show us at the
Oh,
beginning is Leon beating the fuck out of? What the fuck?
oh boy.
All right, let's watch this
Alright, it's kind
retardation.
of freezing up a bit. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I want to preface this review by stating that this is not, in fact, a negative review. I'm saying this right up front because I just know there's going to be a bunch of tourists who click on this video, immediately dislike, and write a stupid comment without even listening to 30 seconds. No, believe it or not, I did enjoy this game. In fact, I'm going for 100% completion right now, which I certainly would not waste my time doing if I hated it. I'm a massive fan of Resident Evil. I played every single mainline game in the series, and while I have been pretty critical of recent entries, I actually gave the Resident Evil 4 remake a positive review, which is really rare for my channel. That said, it definitely was not as good as the original Resident Evil 4, but I'm not going to re-explain why in this video. I think it's important to clarify that creatively bankrupt does not mean bad. Believe it or not, I don't even think most Ubisoft games are bad, and most of them are creatively bankrupt. It just means that the game has no innovation whatsoever. Resident Evil Requiem, to me, is Capcom just throwing their hands up. They have no idea how to appeal to the Resident Evil fan base anymore, so they decided to make games in one. If you've already played Resident Evil 7 or Village and the Resident Evil 4 remake, you've basically already seen everything this game has to offer outside of a few superfluous mechanics. Well, and one objectively bad gameplay addition, stealth mechanics. They want to turn Resident Evil into The Last of Us. It is so apparent. And yeah, the normie tourists, the people who love the Fallout TV show, eat this shit up. Absolutely.
REDTIGER, pause that there. So he says,
okay, yeah,
The Last of Us. First of all, the self segment is not comparable to The Last of Us because all you do is go behind the enemy and execute the enemy with like a knife, right? Correct? In Resident Evil Requiem. Right?
yeah, yeah. In some cases, I really don't like about that case about what kind of logic shit is that to say, oh, Resident Evil is like the The Last of Us, even though Resident Evil is literally no fault of their survival whole, but it is different than The Last of Us.
Yeah, like this
And
isn't even
the most stupid
remotely a comparison. Like the entire game of The Last of Us, you mainly have to try and stealth on harder difficulties. Like you can get away with like just fucking running out and just killing all the infected, but on hard and grounded mode and all that shit, you literally have to watch where the enemies go. You have to use things like bottles and, you know, bow and arrow when you eventually get that. Like, you gotta do so much shit. And Resident Evil Requiem, you have a mix of stealth and action. So it's not even close to a comparison. So he's a fucking idiot. Plain simple.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, continue,
Yep.
Clip.
All right, here we go.
But as someone who's played a shit ton of third-person cinematic action games over the years, I'm getting real tired of this movie game slop. What this game really reminds me of is the Resident Evil 3 remake. Yes, this is definitely a much better game.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
That it was not built with replayability in mind, or the gameplay loop for that matter. This is a one-and-done streamer game. Maybe you'll go back and get the other achievements, but you're never going to touch it again after that. It's strange that a lot of the internet discourse I have seen has really praised the first half of this game when you're playing as Grace, when it really is just Resident Evil 7 again, but even more simplistic and unbalanced, and with additional cases that slows down the gameplay. We'll get into that later. For me, I actually really enjoyed all the Leon segments, including the part of the game that everyone seems to dislike the most. The first Raccoon City segment. No, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. The only real criticism I had is the extreme lack of enemy variety. But that gets back into the overall point of this video, that Resident Evil Requiem is not a bad game. In fact, I think it's a decent game, but it could have
I'm not
been
saying
a
it's a
much
bad
better
game, but you're
game
saying
if
it's
it was
creatively
two
bankrupt. It's
separate
fucking
games
retarded.
that each gameplay style was heavily refined and given better progression systems, instead of just stitching two half-baked cakes together and then feeding us the slop. And I definitely think it's worth mentioning, even though I'm not really a huge story guy when it comes to Resident Evil, because they've been ridiculous for a long time. I have to say, this might be the worst story in the entire series. Not only is it a clusterfuck and confusing, but it also retcons several of the older games in the series for absolutely no reason, and has a Wesker clone that does nothing. He just exists and then he fucking dies just to establish the fact that they can make Wesker clones, I guess. Oh, and the member berries, dude. Half this fucking game is member berries. Some of the references are subtle, but some are so on the nose and in your face. It's supposed to be on purpose. It is literally cheap, shallow fan service. But of course, I'm getting ahead of myself once again. This is going to be structured like my normal reviews, where we talk about gameplay first, because, well, that is the main reason anyone should want to play a video game, I would hope, is the gameplay loop. Now, ironically, I'm going to start
Wait
this
until he gets to the grace part and says
section off by talking about things that aren't
he's
gameplay. The
autistic.
first 30 minutes of this game is essentially an unskippable movie game segment, a glorified walking simulator to establish who Grace Ashcroft is, why she's captured and trapped inside of this crazy hospital. And the problem with all of this is simple. Outside of the fact that if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know I hate walking, is that this completely kills replayability. Even
Oh, an ad. Skip the ad.
Jesus Christ.
Why is there a pizza ad? What the fuck?
3 toppings.
That's
$10 for your choice of hot crust. Only at Pizza.
How long have
There
you
we
been
go.
sitting here? I just need to make my video, you know, as cool as the collection. What about Subway meets Ford?
Why is there no audio
mandatory
now?
play the
Oh, there it
game. Then the pacing goes to complete shit as you're given a Leon tutorial part. Then immediately after that, you're back to playing as Grace, and you got to play a glorified game of hide and seek with the girl, this giant mutant creature that is burned by light. This feels like the beginning of Resident Evil 7, where you have no weapons, and it legitimately is just an incredibly scripted sequence that pretends to have any amount of player expression or choice, but in reality you do the same exact thing every time you play the game to get through this. Then there's another Leon segment immediately after this part. It's another 5 to 10 minutes, which it admittedly is actually one of the best parts of the game, so I'm definitely not complaining. I'm just saying it ends up being, while including the cutscenes, about an hour before you're allowed to just explore the hospital as Grace, which on a first playthrough I didn't mind at all. Obviously the pacing definitely felt erratic, kind of like Resident Evil Revelations, for those of you who play that game, where the Jill segments were obviously the best, but then every 20 minutes it would cut away to some other character doing a completely irrelevant thing with different weapons and different progression. But on a repeat playthrough, this shit gets painful, because we're talking about 30 minutes before you're allowed to just play the fucking game. Now, to get into the full meat of the gameplay systems, playing as Grace is very similar to playing as Ethan in Resident Evil 7. Notice how I say 7 and not 8, because Village was a much more action-oriented game. Maybe with Rec, they figured they wanted to avoid the Resident Evil 6 effect and decided to dial things back a little bit, because Grace is a complete pussy. As a character, she's annoying as fuck. Basically an autistic coward, which I...
Hey,
pause that.
hey.
Autistic coward. So because she stutters and freaks out, that makes her autistic. You do know that autism is the highest intelligence out there, right? Did you even do research about this? Autism is the highest intelligence of humanity. Yeah, we know it's laggy.
and sorry about that, y'all. I just know it's kind of laggy as hell because this PC is really that stupid. But I mean, hey, at least though the audio is kind of alright. But yeah,
Retro pizza, yay! We'll sit that in the comment section. Yeah, but he called her an autistic coward because she's dealing with her mom dying and all these things are coming at her. Like, I'm sorry, a lot of people in that situation, they would fucking freak out. Okay? Like,
yeah,
do you know how trauma works? I don't think he does.
yeah. And one thing I could say is really that stupid is why you like tell. Not offense, but that dude make himself look fucking stupid because people without autism can be filled and get PTSD. How the fuck that's autistic? Like the fuck?
This is the worst segment of his video. This.
I know. Like calling her autistic is just really that stupid. Like what the fuck? Exactly.
Let's see how he
Exactly.
feels if his mom gets in that situation one day. Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly because you know Grace Ashcroft as Ashcroft daughter. One thing about it is this guy over here. Well, the hooded man just killed Eliza Ashcroft, and yeah, and she got PTSD. And funny thing, people like calling people autistic is really that stupid logic, because that is Grace's first time to deal with the zombie situation. She never like went,
She's not Leon, guys. She's not a Mary
yeah,
Sue.
like seriously, like you guys need some fucking help. If you
I'm sure
think,
you want to bet he probably defends the Mulan remake because she's so much better because she's strong and independent. Like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
all right, yeah, all right, play the video, but we had to point
Yeah.
that out.
Guess represents most DEI hires in the FBI these days, and this is reflected in her gameplay as she can
DEI.
barely take out a basic. On the one hand, it was a good idea to make zombies threatening again, and they have much more interesting and scary designs than the mold from RE7. But on the other hand, because zombies are always a threat, this severely limits the escalation of gameplay, so to speak. There are very few enemy types in this game in general, which, as I've stated many times over the years, I am baffled that normies have no problem doing the same thing for over 10 hours straight. Nobody complained about the lack of variety in Silent Hill 2 remake. It makes me feel like I'm in the fucking Matrix or some shit. Is the majority of the population brain dead NPCs? How do you not get bored of just doing the same thing over and over again? But I digress. Because Grace doesn't get significantly more powerful over the course of the game, this means that a lot of the gameplay is going back to the old Resident Evil with resource management, which is a good idea. Early on, you get access to a blood collector, which does pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to collect blood from enemies and buckets of blood that are just lying around. And you can use this to craft all sorts of items somehow, like ammo or ink ribbons for the classic difficulty. But most importantly, there's one item that will easily dominate most of your resources: the hemolytic injector. And this is where I hate the stealth mechanics in this game. On top of the fact that sneaking around just makes things way slower in general, the hemolytic injector is an instant stealth kill item, kind of like crafting shanks to stealth kill clickers in The Last of Us. The thing is, the hemolytic injector works on everything. Way later in the game, it even one-shots lickers. In fact, lickers are such jobbers in this game, it's crazy. Even though they cost like 60 blood to create, it's totally worth it to have at least 1 or 2 hemolytic injectors on you at all times because it just instantly removes the threat in front of you. On the other hand, I feel like empty bottles were severely underutilized in this game. There's almost no reason to ever distract the zombie that way. You could either position them in a way where you could just run past them, or you could spare like 6 bullets to kill the zombie. Now, of course, if you do choose to kill a lot of zombies without the injector, you have the massive downside of the returning Crimson Head mechanic. Again, this is a good idea. Even though you could argue this is more evidence to Capcom being creatively bankrupt, I think people were asking for the return of a similar mechanic to Crimson Heads forever, including me. So the blister head mechanic on paper is pretty damn good. The problem is the execution just kind of sucks, I'll be honest. I already explained to you why the hemolytic injector is the best item in the game, and here's yet another reason. Since it explodes corpses, you never have to deal with blister heads in the first place. Another interesting idea that's completely underdeveloped, likely because this game is 2 games in 1, is the fact that the zombies are more intelligent. Like, this is a mutant strain of the T virus that's similar to the C virus, I believe it was, from Resident Evil 6, where the zombies are a little bit smarter. And so these zombies can talk, and they still remember parts of their life as a human, and you can take advantage of this. Like, there's a zombie that if Flicker lights, he is prioritized to go after it and turn it off, and so you can use that to sneak past him. But there's only a few zombies that have a mechanic similar to this, so it doesn't really come up much. Now, past the halfway point in the game, there is one more gray segment right at the end where you have to deal with a bunch of lickers. Now, this part of the stealth mechanics actually makes sense because it's been established since they were introduced that they can't see, so you got to be quiet around them. But my issue is they introduced a new item, the bottle of acid, that instantly kills a licker. As it turns out, your average meth head could take out a licker. And this is on top of the fact that the hemolytic injector also instantly kills lickers. And so what was once a fairly deadly normal enemy, just like hunters in RE1, is now barely more threatening than the average zombie. And you get a bottle of acid legitimately like 30 seconds after you walk past the first licker. What the fuck is Capcom doing, dude? I know a lot of tourists are just going to inherently disagree with me, but I don't think that stealth mechanics like this fit in Resident Evil. In the classic Resident Evil games, it was part of the skill to weave around zombies with the tank controls to beat the game as fast as possible to get a high rank. That is completely absent from this game. This is more in the style of the Resident Evil 2 remake, where you can shoot a zombie in the head to stun them and then either push them over as grace or just straight up run past them during the short stun window. And I don't think that's inherently bad. I think it actually worked out pretty well for the Resident Evil 2 remake, but I don't think for this. Maybe because there's a lot more backtracking throughout the hospital. Honestly, I think I'm just tired of slop stealth mechanics in modern games. They're always half-baked, and this is no exception. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse with the hemolytic injector, but it really just dominates the entire stealth system. And I haven't really seen anyone else mention this, but for some reason, red herbs have been removed from the game. A series staple that has been around since the very beginning. Now, I have a personal conspiracy as to why this is the case. I think some playtester earlier in development found a red herb, realized they already used all their green herbs, combining them together, and then they were sad. And God forbid any player potentially make a mistake. They might quit the game and not buy future entries. They've been replaced with the med injector, which is just straight up a full heal lying around. My first playthrough was on normal classic, and by the Graces section of the game, I had 5 full heals and several more magnum shots. I could have used magnum rounds to kill zombies, but I figured big boss at the end. But obviously I'm going to spoil the whole game in this review. I think that goes without saying. But not really, no. The boss fight against the girl at the end, first half of the game, only requires 3 magnum rounds to beat, and even then you can beat it without using any. So I basically saved them for no reason. Now, I know I've been shitting a lot on Grace's section of the game, but I do see the appeal. There's definitely some great parts of the hospital. I'd say the first one being that it just feels really handcrafted and well designed from an exploration perspective, and there's a decent amount of optional areas. You're rewarded for going out of your way to kill certain enemies, like the big butcher zombie gives you the pantry key. You can even kill the huge ass Chunk, is what he's called. I called him Big Fat Baby Man the whole time, and that completes a challenge. And I actually really like the challenge system that these more recent Resident Evil games have implemented. I mean, that's more or less the modern series version of replayability, is getting the in-game achievements alongside the outside of game achievements, which of course unlock alternate guns for your next playthrough and infinite ammo and all that. I also think the basement section with the girl constantly chasing after you was pretty well handled as well. You have to constantly move these batteries around, and every time you remove them from these generators, it steeps the area in darkness, which means the girl can chase you down and chomp your head off. There's also a short segment with a meat grinder, and the zombies can grab you and you both just get shredded. So I thought that segment was pretty intense. So yeah, to sum up the first half of the game, the pacing is kind of a clusterfuck. Most of Grace's gameplay is way too slow. I never was a huge fan of RE7 and 8's style of FPS gameplay, although I was a big defender of RE7 back when it came out. It's not a game I would replay. And Resident Evil Requiem is no different. This gameplay is way too gimmicky and shallow. It's a good streamer bait style of gameplay, but it has very little depth, and the hemolytic injector is way too overpowered. That said, the hospital is one of the better locations in the series. I think it's really well designed. I liked going for all the secrets. The average zombie actually being a threat was always a good idea. I like that about Resident Evil 2 Remake as well. Now, another element I actually have to praise about this game is the addition of the ability to switch between first and third person for both characters. For Grace, this is great because there's a lot of moments where I thought third person would help with the controls. And in a way, it's almost like a cheat code allowing you to see around corners without zombies being able to see you. But in Leon's case, it's just objectively a nerf because of how closed in the FOV is. And there's no way in the default settings to widen said FOV. But if you prefer the game to be more like an FPS, you have that choice. And maybe some people will find this style of gameplay scary. I've never found Resident Evil to be scary, honestly. Maybe RE7 a little bit, but this is definitely not scary to me, especially not with Grace whining in every single cutscene and stuttering with every sentence. No, that just completely takes me out of the experience. All right, now moving on to Leon's gameplay. This should be a lot easier to talk about because, I mean, Resident Evil 4 Remake was only 2 years ago.
Okay. About the stuttering, just I did mention, the only reason why, I'm going to repeat myself, but the only reason why she's stuttering, because, yet again, she never went to experiments over surrounded by zombies before. That's the case of it.
This is why I don't watch many those type of people on YouTube. It's gonna hurt my brain. Yeah, just listening to him fucking complain is just like, oh. But we're here to torture ourselves because we gotta outline how fucking stupid the internet is with these people.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Okay, let me see about who gonna complain about Leon. Okay, I hope so. I guess so. Let's get started. I guess. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's more or less the exact same gameplay mechanics. There's been a few minor changes that I'd say are pretty much good. Like the fact that when your hatchet breaks now, you can just sharpen it for free. It doesn't cost an item. You don't have to pay the merchant. It just takes a little bit of time, just like sharpening your weapon in Monster Hunter. You can pick up enemies' melee weapons and throw them back at them, or in the case of the giant club, swing it for an instant kill, which is pretty cool on paper, but in practice it just meant I was camping the weapons until the zombies got closer to me, especially in the case of the explosive canisters, which also explode on a timer for some reason. This honestly feels like a pretty shallow gimmick, but it makes for some pretty cool moments, so I'll let it pass. There's a new gun execution mechanic though, it's kind of hard to trigger. I literally had to watch a video just to know how to do it, and it functionally just does the same thing as executing someone with your hatchet. So I don't know, it's cool, but it doesn't come up that often. Other than that, this more or less just feels like a DLC for Resident Evil 4 Remake, which isn't so bad. I mean, again, I really like those mechanics. There were just certain little issues, especially a lot of the changes that were in RE4 Remake. Not going to talk about it again, but that's the type of stuff I was upset about. I actually really liked being able to parry attacks, even though I'm kind of an anti-parry guy in modern gaming because it's such a common mechanic these days. But I think for Resident Evil, it works weirdly well. Having a way to defend yourself when the enemy's getting close is always good. I wish actually attacking with your hatchet did something, though. I mean, the normal swing is as weak as a knife strike, and the power swing sometimes doesn't even stagger a basic zombie, so it's pretty fucking bad. And speaking of staggering, this still has the problem that the hardcore difficulty in RE4 Remake had, that it can take 3 or 4 headshots on a zombie to stun them for a follow-up attack. This does not feel good, dude. This has always felt like shit. I can't believe they doubled down on it. It's not like zombies are hard to kill, so why the hell are handguns so comically weak? I know there's going to be people who would argue this will make the game too easy, but it worked completely fine for Resident Evil 4 and 5. The solution is just to throw more enemies or throw more deadly enemies at you. A basic enemy should not resist handgun rounds, or it's going to make the handgun feel completely useless, especially as, once again, on normal classic difficulty, I was...
Alright. This guy is... if you know
We
about
don't have
the
to watch
basic...
the whole 50 minutes. We don't. I mean, but this guy's fucking complaining about, oh, it takes too many shots to down an enemy. That's been a staple fucking since the original Resident Evil games.
Yeah. And the synthetic man, I'm going to tell you this right now because I'll face point about your nonsense ass. And the real reason why you didn't stagger them, because on the hardest difficulty, it's supposed to do that. Because it is a hard difficulty. No shit, like enemies can be strong and tough and shit. And you can just bitching and complain, say, oh, though, I can't fucking stagger them.
Yeah, we don't have to listen to the whole 15-minute video. Honestly, we're like almost 20 minutes, half hour. I think we're just done. He's probably just going to complain a lot. RPT remake PTSD. Go to that part. Click on there. I want to see what he's
yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Leon.
Oh, fucking ad.
YouTube ad.
We don't care.
YouTube ad. Stop. For the love of God.
And Aston delivers. As Attorney General, Wilson has fought to protect our
revisits RPD, gets PTSD from the events of RE2 Remake specifically. Now, there has been a discussion of some other chud-coded channels that have talked about this is proof that remakes are erasing the original games, because all of Leon's memories are the RE2 Remake version of the events. Now, to me, this is not surprising at all, because Capcom has actually come out and said that they think the remakes completely replace the originals, which is why they haven't put the OG RE games on GOG. So yes, if there was any doubt in your mind if these modern remakes are meant to replace the original games, they are. They absolutely are. I'm just going to keep this brief for the sake of time, but I don't think PTSD fits in Resident Evil. I'm the type of guy who vastly prefers when Resident Evil is campy and has good one-liners, and Leon in this game has a few, but this PTSD shit does not fit at all. Resident Evil 6 tried a similar thing, and it was shit in that game too. As I mentioned before, near the end of this segment, you have to play as Chloe, a girl who died in 1990 and was one of the girls that was experimented on from the orphanage that the Umbrella Corporation had control of for whatever reason. Insert Epstein conspiracy theories here. Actually, the game heavily plays into that shit. In fact, there's a plot point that Spencer wanted to put his mind into a little girl. Deeply fucking disturbing, but absolutely believable that the elites would want to do this to themselves. And the way this all connects back is that everyone seems to believe that Grace is a clone of Chloe. Anyway, after a rematch with the Tyrant and Plant 43, Leon makes his way to the Ark, this other lab that had no connection to the lab that self-destructed. And we discover Elpis is contained in this machine that needs a password. And Zesker and Victor Gideon seem to believe that Grace had some kind of biological code that would be able to unlock the machine, which would make sense for sure. That definitely seems like the type of thing Spencer would do, given all the crazy-ass puzzles and strange architecture and his virus experimentation, et cetera, et cetera. Absolutely believable. But no, as it turns out, it's just a password. A password literally anyone could guess, by the way. It's just hope. And this ties into arguably the worst retcon in the entire game, Oswald E. Spencer's redemption. Oswald Spencer, the guy who's killed millions of people over the course of the series with his development of the progenitor.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just skip that. Does he talk about anything else? Like, is there anything else he complains about, or is that it?
I just guess that that's about it. Like he's just really that annoying, anyways. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think we have to click on the video anymore. I guarantee you, like 80 to 90% of that video, he's just complaining about nothing. Oh, this and that and blah blah blah. This is boring. Well, why are you fucking playing it then? You think it's boring, just fucking put it down. Plain as that.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, look at me. Like, I'm playing Resident Evil Requiem, but do I bitch or complain? No. And one thing about it, yeah, Grace is maybe like slow to sneak around the enemies. It's just because you had to be careful and like say, oh, it's slow. Like, not offense, but the lickles themselves, oh my god. Imagine though you wanting and the lickles literally find you and they literally kill your ass anyway, constantly. Like seriously, like you just have to stealth and hide. And the funny thing about that dude is he bitching and complaining about Grace being autistic. That is the most stupid logic I ever heard from him. Like, and this dude's PTSD can't fit on Resident Evil. Like, huh? What the fuck you mean I can't fit on Resident Evil?
Did
like,
this guy forget that there was trauma in the old Resident Evils? Because I'm pretty sure in 1 or 2, Leon has like some bad memories or some shit. Pretty sure that was in the old games as well. So what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the point. I just don't understand about this dude. Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it. That is his take of Grace. I mean, yeah, I mean, since I did play the Grace gameplay, I mean, it's not like because I don't like Grace. It's just because it's really annoying though, because Grace only have like 3 or 2 different type of guns, which that I don't like. But Grace's personality, I mean, I don't think it's
Makes
annoying
sense because she's inexperienced. She hasn't been on this field anywhere longer. She hasn't been on the field like compared to Leon. Leon's been there like since fucking RE1 and 2, so he has way much experience under his belt.
Yeah, true though. I mean,
yeah, and Grace is just a newbie.
I mean,
she's walking in going, "Okay, what the fuck's going on?"
Yeah, yeah. It's just only the part I just It's just only the part about Grace is only the guns part, but the gameplay of Grace is not that bad because it is like it is remind me the survival horror of the Resident Evil games, like the inventory and
guys,
the supply
it's not
box.
The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a completely different game. Okay, it cannot be compared to this Resident Evil Requiem or whatever it is. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah,
not even. Oh man, that was just fucking cringe.
Yeah, I'm just face palming right now because this dude, I mean, this dude literally like shitting on like, enemies can't be stunned on hardcore mode. It's just because it's the hardest difficulty, you dumb fuck. Like those enemies on the hardest difficulty had to be strong. That is the challenging part of Resident Evil.
They did that in Resident Evil 2 remake. They made them bullet sponges because that's the point of fucking hard difficulties. The enemies
Yeah.
are going to magically go down because you shoot them once or twice in the head. It's designed that way because they want you to have a challenge.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, like
Yeah, he is a fake Resident Evil fan. I think he even bitched about fucking Resident Evil 4 remake. So I can't take this guy seriously because he just fucking bitches about everything. And no wonder so many people called him out because Gar of the Rage made a video calling him out for it. Shout out to him. And nobody should take this guy seriously on opinion on video game genres. If you want an actual opinion, talk to either REDTIGER or hell, even me. I played enough Resident Evil games. I mean, sure, I
yeah,
haven't played 6, but fuck 6, in my opinion.
yeah. And some cases about me and everyone else like us, we are being honestly like we just honestly just give our honestly thoughts about the games. But one part is really I never do is just shit on the character stuttering and call them autistic. That is the most stupid shit. And I mean, yeah, like everyone who's literally a PTSD in real life, they don't literally are autistic. Like one of them could be normal people. Who knows? But still, like
Yeah, she's
that is
not
the
autistic. I know somebody that has autism. She doesn't show any signs of autism because people of high functioning autism cannot keep eye contact, and they have a hard time reading emotions and expressions. And Grace doesn't have any of that. All she's dealing with is trauma because her mother died in front of her. That's it.
Mhm. And that's the major part about whole like hell. And that's make that's how make Gray's personality is realistic because PTSD is some hard fucked up shit in real life world we living in. And
Yeah,
that's yeah,
talk to any war veteran. They'll tell you how bad PTSD is, how they have to
yeah,
struggle with it because they actually had to kill people. But yeah, stupid video, illogical, and if you want to melt your brain cells and lose IQ, I guess go watch the video. But other than that, just yeah, it's cringe. And
yeah.
Synthetic Man is one of the most stupid, idiotic people I've listened to on opinions on Resident Evil ever. That is Tori.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
So, anyways, now that we're done that, we're gonna segue into another topic about this
mhm.
PlayStation DRM fiasco. What do you think about it?
Well, everyone just find it me too. It's really is that bad because what happen if someone buy a game over like $80 fucking dollars or $100 on digital games, and if they are veterans like on the army, and if they get home, they just realize that their shit just got fucked. And that's the problem I don't like about the DOM. And it's not the only part of it, but it is also the part though is like if you're like something battery dies, like your digital shit is fucked
The
or something.
CMOS battery, yep.
Yeah, that one.
Spawnwave did a video testing this out. So he took the CMOS out of his PS5. He couldn't launch his games after the March update. They wouldn't work. So you basically are you're basically fucked. If you don't have these games authenticated right away, like you're just locked out and all that shit. And I remember exclusively when we had that PlayStation outage. It was about like a few months back, and Red Tiger told me, he said he couldn't see his friends list, and he couldn't even play his games. Right, he couldn't play any of your PS5 games.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because one reason why though about the address that plays it as well, because I think it's happened like a couple of times, but that time though I can't go to my friend list. I can't chat, and the only thing I can only play is my difficult games, I guess, which that's the case. And yeah, it's really that desperate too, because not only that, but funny thing, Sony themselves are going to get a lawsuit too, which that's funny.
Yeah, they're getting sued over the digital thing, and I hope a lot of people just make them financially suffer, because they've been doing a lot of fucking weird anti-consumer moves, increasing their consoles by ridiculous prices, and then waiting almost a week later to tell everybody about this freak out about this DRM thing. This game has certain days left. I'm like, why is this on there? Like my Resident Evil 5, that still has the day limit on it. So mine says 25 days left. Hasn't gone away yet. So they claim that you only have to check in once to verify it. I don't know if I believe it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to believe in Sony what they say. But if you want an actual person that doesn't like melt your brain and all that stuff, and is very informative, go watch the Real Life Fake Wizard. Me and Red Tiger have been watching a lot of his videos recently, and that guy is very intelligent. He's on point. Actually, since you got that screen cap thing, are you able to show the audience the video he made on the DRM?
Oh yeah, the DOM. Yeah. Right now, I can short you up now. Come on. I'm trying to short you up. All right. Until that, I'm gonna try to short you up. So I'm going to his thing really quick.
Yeah, by the way, Red Tiger's taking a break from co-op from Resident Evil 5 because he screwed his hand last night. So taking a break.
Yeah, like literally push fucking buttons, yeah. I am now on his channel. I'm just trying to find his thing. Oh, wait a minute. It's two. Oh, it's two of them videos. Cancel your PlayStation subscription and reject PlayStation JRPG. Do you want to check on the?
Click up his follow-up one, the one where he said cancel PlayStation. Play that one.
Okay. I'm about to share this. Come on. Okay, here we go. And let's share this in case. Yeah. Let's go to share screen.
It's just something to keep in mind,
and
guys. That's all.
this.
Because Sony has been doing some strange things recently. Some questionable stuff. They even shut down Japan Studio. So can't see any more games from them.
Damn it. Yeah, let's talk about that. Like, it just that this fucking. Oh, and
If it's laggy, you can just play the audio instead.
what the? Wait, what? Here we go.
Digitally purchased PlayStation games starting in March of 2026. The behavior.
Okay, yeah, because like it's kind of glitching or something.
Is there a way to just play the audio? Like, don't show the actual screen, just play the audio.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Because I know though, and stuff is kind of laggy. So yeah. I
Yeah,
can do
just
that.
play the audio. They don't need to see the screen.
All right. You know what? You know what? I just have a better idea. I'm gonna go there. And you know what? I'm gonna switch it on my thing really quick, so I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, my poor nose.
Okay, here we go.
I'm
I'm just making sure. All right. I'm
see
here.
my tigers. It's a clone. It's your clone.
Oh God. I just have an evil clone. Alright, let's play this video. I'm gonna try to open up my thing really quick. Alright, try to make sure that it's the white one. Okay, here we go. Let's go to this one. I just hope you guys can hear that audio and stuff. So I'm gonna open up that really quick. Go to there. Cancel your. Hopefully that you guys can hear it. Alright. Okay, here we go.
I'm the real life fake wizard, and you
There
should
we
be
go.
curious right now. If what we're about to talk about is real and should be shadows remain unchanged, it will be the worst PlayStation has ever done. Sony Interactive Entertainment was caught embedding a 30-day expiration timer into the metadata of every digitally purchased PlayStation game starting in March of 2026. The behavior was first flagged by independent modders. Media preservation researchers reproduced these findings within 24 hours, proving that yes, something was indeed there, tracking via an expiration date. Is Sony's own customer service AI agents are now confirming in writing that the timer applies to all new purchases. And to be clear, as these reports have come in, some normal folks have been able to replicate the issues online and some haven't. At one point, it was reported that this was a bug and Sony was going to fix it. Personally, I don't buy that at all. All the while, Sony has said nothing on the record for almost a week. What all this means, though, is that the digital games that you buy, which are licenses, not real game ownership, now expire every 30 days unless your console reaches the PlayStation Network every 30 days. If you bought a digital game from the PlayStation Store after March 2026, you do not own that game in any historical sense of the word. Instead, we can call it a renewable permission, and Sony controls the renewal. You should be furious about this. This is the next step in you owning nothing and having no control over the things you've bought. Whether you actually are furious or not depends on whether you've been paying attention to what the gaming industry has done to the meaning of the word buy over the last 15 years. Well, I think we might be at a place where it is time to start canceling your PlayStation Plus subscription. Let's take a hard look at what's actually happening here, why Sony is doing this, and where this is going if the people who buy PlayStations don't change their behavior and fight back. Hey, now hang on there. Before we continue, big announcement. We have a brand new home for all of our live streams. Fake Wizards Live. All our streams are moving to this new channel, effective right now. So if you've been catching us live on this channel, go over there instead. The Real Life Fake Wizard will exclusively be videos from here on out. Here's the schedule. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're bringing you Fake Wizard News. Thursday, we're running 2 streams. First up, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Culture Crossfire for brunch, featuring myself and Marvin Montanaro of the M4 Empire, where the culture is caught in the crossfire. Then, later on Thursday night at 9:45 p.m. Eastern, Fake Cast is back, where we'll cover all the major movies, television, and game releases every single week. So that's 3 shows a week, all on Fake Wizards Live. The link is below in the description and in the comments too. Come on over and subscribe so you don't miss us going live. We'll see you there. Why is Sony doing this? Well, Sony is a publicly traded company. Their executive compensation, their stock price, and their career trajectory of every senior leader inside Sony Interactive Entertainment is tied to one number above all others, and that is the operating margin of the gaming business unit, which what that really translates to is a percentage metric that indicates how efficiently Sony converts revenue into profit from its gaming operation. That percentage gets reported quarterly. Wall Street analysts model it. Activist investors apply pressure when it slips. And every meaningful business decision Sony makes in gaming flows downstream from the question of how to grow that percentage from one quarter to the next. The 30-day DRM timer is a margin play. It is doing 3 things to Sony's revenue model simultaneously, and each one of them adds up to real money on the income statement. Are you bringing shareholders value today? The first thing it does is reduce account sharing. Right now, large numbers of PlayStation digital libraries are functionally shared between 2 or more households. One person buys the game, designates a console at their parents' house or their friend's apartment as the secondary system, and then 2 people get access to that game for the price of one purchase. Sony has known about this for years and tolerated it because going after this practice aggressively would generate customer relations problems that exceeded the recovered revenue of if they fought it. Think of this like how Netflix has password sharing prevention now. The 30-day timer changes that math a bit. A secondary console that does not sync to PlayStation Network within 30 days now loses access automatically. The customer relations problem disappears because the cutoff happens silently in the background with no enforcement action that any individual customer can point to as Sony's fault. The second thing it does is build a foundation for an active licensed database that becomes a high-value corporate asset. Every 30-day check-ins tells Sony that a specific console tied to a specific account in a specific geographic region played a specific game during a specific window. Multiply that across roughly 120 million active PlayStation users, and what Sony is building is one of the most granular, real-time consumer behavior data sets in all of entertainment. That data can be sold to publishers as analytics, or it can be used to time price drops with mathematical precision. It could be packaged into recommendation engines that drive higher conversions on the storefront, which we have already seen Sony experimenting with dynamic pricing, which, if you haven't heard of dynamic pricing, it means I might see one price for a game and you might see a different price for the same game at the same time. Check-ins like this elevate the authenticity of this dynamic pricing system. Every quarter that data exists, it generates revenue that did not exist before, and the 30-day check-in keeps the data fresh. The third thing it does is increase what's called platform lock-in, which is a diabolical talking point. The longer a customer has used a PlayStation, the more digital purchases they have accumulated, and the more painful it becomes to switch to a competing platform when the next console generation arrives. A digital library worth several $1,000s is a powerful argument against switching to Xbox, even when Xbox might be offering a better hardware deal, which they're not. That's a hypothetical. Settle down in the comments. The 30-day timer makes that lock-in tighter because every 30 days, the customer is implicitly reminded that their library is contingent on staying connected to Sony's network. Switching platforms now means walking away from games that, by Sony's own contractual language, you no longer have unrestricted access to anyway. Oh, what's that? You looking at a gaming PC? Oh, Asha Sharma might be making Xbox more viable for gaming in a few years? No, your games are here. And you need to be here too. In fact, you're not going anywhere. Why is this bad for you? Well, the customer side of this transaction is not symmetrical with the corporate side in any way. Sony gains optionality and you're the one losing it. When you buy a digital game from the PlayStation Store, you are entering into a contract whose terms can be modified by Sony at any time with no notice, no compensation, and no realistic recourse. The current modification is a 30-day check-in. The next modification could be anything Sony wants it to be, and the language in the end-user license agreement that authorized this will authorize that too. You are not negotiating with Sony. You are accepting whatever they decide on a rolling basis in exchange for the convenience of playing your games on this platform and not wanting to stand up and put a disc in the tray. This is a structural issue. The console you own no longer belongs to you in any meaningful operational sense. A PlayStation 5 sitting on your shelf, disconnected from the internet, can no longer execute its primary function beyond a 30-day timeout. The hardware might work, the software might work, but the contract has been modified to override both of them. Sony has retained a remote shutoff capability that activates by default on a schedule they control with no input from you. The everyday meaning of "I bought this" has been quietly replaced with "I am currently permitted to use this." Most gamers have not even noticed this yet because Sony has been careful to keep the friction down enough so the mainstream normies don't notice. But that threshold is where things get dangerous. Every successful contract tightening makes the next one easier because the customer base has now demonstrated that they will accept the previous one with zero questions. So based on this, what's coming next? The 30-day timer is the deployment that lets the next development make sense. And the next development, on the available evidence, is identity verification. Yeah, I'm serious. Biometric harvesting is the next logical conclusion. And you may say, "Wizard, that's crazy." Poppycock. If you think that's crazy, you really aren't paying attention enough. Exhibit A, Sony filed a US patent in 2019 for a PlayStation controller with biometric authentication built into the device. That includes fingerprint scanning, palm vein recognition, and an interior eye scan called fundus oculi. The patent identifies parental controls as the headline use case. The hardware design has been sitting in their portfolio for 7 years already, just waiting for a business reason to ship. Exhibit B, Discord attempted to deploy a biometric system in March of, you guessed it, 2026, but it did have a rocky rollout. If Discord's AI system cannot figure out your age, then to use most of the features on the platform, users must now complete a facial age through a video selfie, upload a government ID. The rollout came 4 months after Discord's vendor was breached in October of 25, exposing approximately 70,000 government ID photos. We had a community server of 1,000 people, and I shut it down over these bastards. There's no reason that you need to give your biometrics over to use Discord. There's also no reason you should have to give your biometrics over to play Ape Escape. Exhibit C, the UK Online Safety Act has been in enforcement since July of 2025 and lists biometric age estimation as an approved verification method. Australia's social media minimum age law took effect in December of 25. The European Union's official age verification app became technically ready 12 days ago, at the time of recording this, roughly half of all the U.S. states have age verification statutes on their books. Each of those laws gives a platform the cover and the permission to deploy biometric verification under the framing that the government requires it. And the platform benefits from the customer control friction either way. So is it crazy to expect that a 30-day login window isn't the precipitating event before a biometric requirement? We just explained earlier why Sony wants to harvest the data from these operations. Ask yourself this: why does a video game company need to see your biometrics? None of this is necessary to deliver a video game. All of it is profitable, though, in one way or another. But enough with the prophesizing, wizard. What in the heck led us to this point? This didn't just pop up overnight. The honest answer is that Sony is responding to a market signal that their customers sent them with money over the course of more than a decade. In the first quarter of Sony's 2025 fiscal year, 83% of PlayStation full game software revenue came from digital downloads. That figure was 60% in early 2019 and roughly 19% in 2015. The trajectory has been steadily upward for the entire period. Total U.S. new physical game sales in 2025 reached $1.5 billion, the lowest figure since the industry began tracking it in 1995. Globally, digital distribution now accounts for roughly 95% of all video game sales across PC and console combined. That data was collected by Sony's commercial planning division and by every other major publisher. The customer base has demonstrated, with money, every quarter for 6 consecutive years, that contractual specifics are not meaningful as a purchasing factor. Customers chose convenience. They keep choosing convenience. Every single one of those purchases was a vote, and the votes accumulated into a clear instruction to Sony and to many of these other gaming conglomerates. Tighten the contract, and gamers will pay anyway. This is the part of the story that the gaming-aware audience has been shouting about for years on places like Reddit, on YouTube, on Twitter, in podcast episodes. Gamers are no-action, docile, domesticated consumers. Probably not you watching this, to be very clear. I'm not attacking you. If you made it this far into the video, if you even clicked on something like this, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, and you probably have advocated against this too, just as I am. No, the problem is the docile gamer normies, the ones in the middle, who have their fingers jammed into their ears and they're bent over with their wallets exposed. These people hear about each new outrage, shrug, and pre-order the next digital release anyway, because they don't care. They're not willing to care, to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, and every individual decision feels small to them. One game doesn't matter, but that's like frogs in the boiling pot. They don't know it's boiling until it's too late. And that brings us to a point here. I don't know if Sony can be stopped at this point. At the time of recording this, Sony still hasn't spoken about this publicly. Back in 2013, when Xbox One was announced, they had a similar DRM built in. Gamers revolted, and then Microsoft rolled it back entirely. They had to, because it nearly killed the Xbox brand. PlayStation has earned your ire today. This is a company whose console is known for having no games on it, and yet they keep making anti-consumer choice after anti-consumer choice. In 2024, Sony shipped millions of copies of Helldivers 2, and then retroactively required users to log into the PlayStation Network, or the game would just stop working. Gamers revolted, and they only partially rolled it back. In 2023, Sony announced they were deleting movies, shows, and videos from Warner Brothers that customers had purchased, not rented. Gamers revolted and forced Sony to roll it back. In 2024, 2025, and most recently just a few days ago in 2026, Sony has continued to raise prices on nearly 6-year-old hardware, where now in the United States, a PlayStation 5 is $650 for the base console. It's even more expensive in other parts of the world. Concord, Marathon, Fair Games, Horizon Hunter Gatherer, God of War Live Service, which thankfully was canceled. Sony doesn't even want to ship real games that you own anymore. Everything is live service. Everything is rented. Everything is microtransaction heavy. PlayStation Plus costs more now. Dynamic pricing means I might pay $20 and you'll pay $40 or even more for the same copy of Goat Simulator 3. And as of today, there is a 30-day always online DRM built into your PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Whether you can see it yet or not, you need to get loud. You need to get angry. You need to fight back. In videos past, I said stop buying, speak with your wallet. Yeah, that's good, and that's still good advice. Keep doing that. But we need to reach the normies. It's the normies that need to be forced to wake up. And the only way that that's going to happen is if you get angry enough to fight back and call out anti-consumer acts. Even if this whole thing is a bug, which a series of outlets have claimed that the whole 30-day timer might be unintentional, a bug introduced while patching exploits, their own customer support is contradicting that claim in writing. But the truth is, it does not matter which one of those is true. If it is intentional, Sony has installed a kill switch in your console without telling you. If it's a bug, Sony has installed a kill switch in your console by accident, and the public response either way needs to be loud enough that the cost-benefit calculation forces them to reverse. The action is the same in either case. Get loud. Stay loud. All the major gaming conglomerates have earned your anger. Use it and fight them. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire others to do so as well. And
for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus.
Cancel Disney Plus. Yeah.
No, but he's right. And you know what? I'm still looking up this PlayStation DRM. I'm refreshing it. I still see people talk about it. They're still talking about it, which is good. Hopefully that means Sony will actually, get rid of this this fucking expiration date thing in the first place. Because I don't care if I have to authenticate once the fact that it's there. Like, what happens if PlayStation goes down again? I buy a game and I want to download it. Does that mean like I completely am fucked over if I can't get online to authenticate it? Gotta make you wonder about that. Start asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have seen people already show screenshots they're canceling PlayStation Plus. Please continue to do that on Twitter. Keep doing it. Keep showing Sony that we're not going to be fucked over anymore. Because if we buy a console and we buy a digital game, it doesn't matter if it's a fucking license. We fucking bought it with our money. And you suggesting possibly it might be taken away, like, fuck off. I paid for it. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm. And the main reason, Chony, I'm never bought digital games no more. I won't, because you're shaking bullshit. You lie to us on our fucking faces, saying something about, you only have one chicken. Like, bullshit, Sony. Like, do you realize that someone like a PlayStation fanboy on that God of Rage video about like some motherfucker say, it's not DRM on PlayStation. Like, fuck off, oh my fucking God. Fuck off, you PlayStation shreddy neck build, fucking eating fucking Doritos, fucking drink Fanta all day. Shut the fuck up, you PlayStation Shony Pony fanboys. You are the problem. Our digital games is fucked.
Well, it's up to you what you want to do in the future for digital games, Red Tiger. But I think if a lot of people cancel PlayStation Plus, they're going to have to get rid of that expiration date on the digital games, because it's stupid we even have that. Like, so you're telling me possibly my game isn't even mine anymore after this March update? Like, what the fuck?
And that's the thing. I'm just losing my brain cells right now, because those fucking fanboys on Twitter is defending the DRM shit. So they just think it's fucking a lie about their own games on digital and getting fucked. Like, it is our U.S. money, Canadian money, Japanese yen money, all that shit. It's like the only reason why we are pissed because our digital games are getting fucked. And we are like, and so, and we do gotta, and we got our money to pay to you, Shoni. And if you keep this up, we won't buy your
Well, I'll
PlayStation.
tell you what, if they introduce that that age verification worldwide, I'm gone. Like I'm not using voice chat and party chat anymore. No messages. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm done.
Yep.
And
See,
I'm not buying PS Plus again. That happens, no more PS Plus. Yep,
Yep.
no more.
No more. Yep. It's no more a PlayStation Plus. It is the thing. And one thing I could say about the guy the UK government, fuck him too, because that's not your goddamn job. That's the parents' job, you old buffoon. It's the parents' job, not your job. Are you their parents? No. Like, you over here treating us like fucking children. We are grown-ass fucking adults. And this like Sony fanboys can probably tell me, say, oh, well, you don't have a right to crash out about it. Of course I fucking can. We are the honestly good customers who like to push its games on PlayStation. But since PlayStation want to be a dick, then I can see that.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if they do this global age verification, I will not resubscribe to PlayStation Plus. I'm gonna just like boycott it until they completely backtrack a lot of the like they got backtrack on the age verification for sure, but yeah, until they realize that they can't fuck over as customers, yeah, like I'll be done if they implement that age verification worldwide. Like if it only stays in Ireland and UK, whatever, but if it comes over here, yep, I'm done. No more
Yep.
PlayStation Plus. That's it.
Yep. And for me, if that shit happens, I guess I'm going back playing retro games too. I don't know.
Well, we got our digital library, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's going to go anywhere for now.
Yeah. But
Yeah, but I can't believe Sony this generation. Like they just, what the fuck happened to them? You know, they used to be about, you know, caring about the customer and doing everything to please them. Now it's just like they want to take this Western approach of like fucking everybody over. I'm just like, why? You're a Japanese company. What the fuck? Japan isn't supposed to be about greed. They're supposed to be about caring for the customer. Pretty sure.
and from the case of it, those, and I just bet that this a ton of fanboys are trying to act like PlayStation is the only one is doing this, but no, Nintendo doing the same shit too. Nintendo,
GameCube card, useless.
yeah, yeah, but still, I mean, Nintendo is doing the same thing too, which that's him a law and stuff, because charging everyone $80 on games and
Yeah, they're doing the MK90. They're doing it everywhere. Nintendo's trying to fucking reap you over the coals too. So don't think otherwise. Everybody's trying to do it right now because you know that's why we customers got to stand up and just say fucking no. And I'm gonna plug this in. I don't give a fuck. If you guys have the ability to mod your console and put Linux on PlayStation, go for it. Go for it right now. Put Linux on PS5. If you have PS5, put it on there.
Yeah.
Emulate your games. If we don't know anything, then what's the quote? if piracy, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. There we go.
Mm-hmm. And from that case as well, I don't like. Well, one thing about me, I don't like attack people who own the Nintendo Switch too. No, I don't. I
No,
don't.
no, we
Yeah,
don't go that
yeah,
far. We don't
yeah.
do
We
what
don't.
like M64 bros. We don't harass people, but
Yeah.
it's something to think about, guys. Like we got to keep making videos calling these companies out, because if we just stay silent and not do anything, then they'll just keep ramping it up and ramping it up. Kind of like how almost all these governments are trying to introduce this age verification. Write them. Write to your representative. Say, I don't agree with this. Like, because if they don't listen, then I hate to say it, there might be a civil war. Just throw it out there. It's a possibility. You never know.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing I could say about the only thing I really do like about Nintendo is the old retro games for example, like some like good games like the GameCube, the Wii, and some other console like. And funny thing about the Wii, yeah, you can mod the hell out of it, like turn it into a modded gaming machine by everything. But from the same time, modded Nintendo consoles is not that good no more, because from like a Nintendo Online, you just have to play retro games only online, which that's stupid.
Oh, I made a video about it, and then you know who got upset about it, Mister. Tell everybody to go in hell, and delete your channel.
Yeah, I just really like the old Nintendo only, but the modern Nintendo is not that good. It just might take you.
I'm definitely not getting a Nintendo Switch 2 until Nintendo reverses a lot of those decisions, especially the ULA agreement. Oh, if you agree to this, you can't sue us. What? What do you mean I can't take you to court and sue you if I agree to this? What kind of asinine statement is that? I don't want to fucking agree with that. I can't sue you. Come on.
My God. Those type of human beings who work on a company like that just have a brain of a Patrick Stars, because they don't know what the fuck they on about. They just doesn't know their customers is getting pissed, and like they do have a right to sue them and stuff, because they are angry customers, and they've been like them, and they've been saving the money up to buy their favorite games and franchise. And no, like they say, oh no, you don't own the games, like just like how Nintendo doing on the Nintendo Switch 2. You can't own the Nintendo Switch 2. You just have to get a license to own the a license agreement to own, like I just don't get it about those companies. I'm sorry to God, man.
Yeah, I'm just typing something. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just typing. You have to pay for online chat, which is fucking dumb on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, pay money to chat for free on PSN. Yeah, lovely idea. Well, not for PSN, for Nintendo. You know what I mean. And let's be honest, the layout is fucking ripped off of Discord. Yeah, the world is just it's kind of getting scary. Maybe Sega's should come back. They don't have enough money, MK. I don't think that's gonna happen. I wish they would. Yeah, but I think we said our piece on everything. And if you guys care about the industry, speak out. If you care about what's happening in the world, call out politicians, criticize them. Because we can't just keep just laying down and taking it like we're some fucking rag dolls. We're human beings. They need to remember this. REDTIGER, you there? Hello? REDTIGER? Uh-oh. He's not responding. Oh, shit. I think he lagged out. Damn. Lagged out. Hopefully he comes back. His power pick's coming up. A couple minutes. Yeah. There we go.
Oh.
REDTIGER?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, you got kicked out.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. But I'm exactly what it's saying, y'all. I could say one thing though is I just hope you guys just fight back and stuff, because we don't like need a kind of greedy company like try to put you down to fucking choose a fucking AI vocation age bullshit. But I just hope the only best for you guys.
Yeah. Well, we were just gonna wrap it up anyway. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for stopping by in the stream. There will be no co-op Resident Evil 5 because REDTIGER needs to recover. So I'll probably pick it up around maybe tomorrow or the weekend because Friday I'm probably going out. So stay tuned until then.
Alright, guys. We will see you next time, and stay tuned to the next episode of the Drama Apocalypse. And yeah, stay tuned. And peace out.